Welcome to How to Cook That. I'm Ann Reardon. I've been seeing a lot of baking hacks online lately, so today we're going to put them to the test and see if they are a hit or a myth. So don't waste my time. Baking hack number 1 says if you are baking muffins or anything with fruit or choc chips in it, you should coat them in flour first to stop them from sinking to the bottom. If you coat them with flour before you mix them in, they will apparently stay at the top. To test that, let's make choc chip and raspberry muffins. And for one batch, we'll put the chocolate chips and the raspberries into the flour and mix them through thoroughly to coat them. For the other batch, we'll put everything into the wet ingredients and mix it around in there instead. Now add the wet to the dry, just like you normally would when you're making muffins, and mix it together until it is just combined. The dotty cases were the ones that were coated in flour first, and the pink cases went straight into the wet ingredients. Now they're baking in the oven on the same tray so that the oven is at the exact same temperature, the exact same cooking time. We're not changing anything else about it. It's the same for both of them. You've got to love that smell of freshly baked muffins. I'll put the recipe for these on the website. Now let's see inside. Pink was no flour. And dotty was flour first. What do you think? There is actually more at the top on the flour one, but for the sake of science, let's cut another one because that could just be the way it was scooped into the cupcake case. Let's try again. They both do look yummy to me, but most of the goodies are in the bottom half of the pink one. So it's not the end of the world if you forget, but this hack is actually a hit. Baking hack number 2 says eggs must be at room temperature when you're baking, especially if you're whipping egg whites. You'll get more volume and a better result if your egg white is not cold straight from the fridge if you've let it sit and come to room temperature and then use it. Let's test that theory. Separate your eggs and whip them up. This one is our room temperature egg white. And this one is our cold egg white. Now I weighed both of these before I started to check they were exactly the same size. Now if we take a look, the cold egg white has actually whipped up to have a better volume. But wait, I actually tricked you. See, if we look at the use by dates, the room temperature egg was older than the cold one. The fresher the egg, the better it whips up. So let's test that again with 2 eggs with the same use by date. It's very important when you're experimenting to only have one variable or you may come to the wrong conclusion, which is how I think this theory must have started. If you think about it, if you have chickens and you have older eggs sitting in the fridge and then you get a fresh one from outside that's at room temperature, the one at room temperature is going to whip up better, not because of the temperature, but because it's a fresher egg. See these two, the cold and the warm with the same use by date, whipped up exactly the same. So that hack is a myth. So don't waste my time. Hack number 3. If you need to soften butter, you can fill a tall cup up to the top with boiling water and let it sit for a minute until the cup is hot. Then tip out the water and place the upside down cup over the butter and wait for a couple of minutes. Remove the cup and your butter should be nicely softened but not melted. That hack actually worked, so that one is a hit. Hack number 4. When you're making macarons, make your mixture as normal and pipe it onto lined trays. Then before baking them, you need to leave them on the trays for about 20 minutes or until a skin forms on top and you can gently touch them. The skin stops the air from escaping from the top, forcing it down so the macaron rises, giving it a foot and a perfect macaron. If you don't let it sit, the air will go out the top, causing it to crack and there'll be no foot. Well, that's what the hack says, but let's actually test it. Make 1 batch of macaron mixture and pipe it onto 2 trays. And all these recipes are on the howtocookthat.net website for you, and I'll link to that below. Bang the trays on the bench just like you normally would, and now place 1 tray straight into the oven. Then leave the others on the counter. At 10 minutes, they're still a bit sticky on the top. But after another 10, they've formed a skin and we can finally put them in the oven. The others are already cooked and cooled, but let's watch what they both looked like baking at the same time. So which tray is better? Well, you tell me. Can you even see a clear difference? They both have a foot and there are no cracks on top. This one was left to form a skin and this one was baked immediately. So this hack is a myth. So don't waste my time. Hack number 5. When whipping egg whites, wipe out the bowl using vinegar, because if there's any oil at all, even a tiny bit on the bowl, the egg whites will not whip up properly. To test this theory, I'm going to add a teaspoon of oil to our whites and then attempt to whip them up. Having vinegar on the side of the bowl is actually adding acid, which helps stabilise the egg whites, but you can also do that by adding lemon juice or a bit of cream and tartar, and you can just add it into the egg whites. But the question here is, does the oil stop the egg whites from whipping? The answer to that is no, it does not stop the egg whites whipping, even when we added a whole teaspoon. So the reason given for this hack is wrong. Adding acid is good, but the oil was not the issue. So this hack is a myth. So don't waste my time. If there are any more home hacks you'd like to see tested, click the thumbs up and write the hack in the comments below. Subscribe to How to Cook That for more and turn on the bell for notifications. Make it a great week and I'll see you on Friday.